My name is Erick Rozo from Caracas, Venezuela. I'm 34 years old. I was born in a time where Venezuela had their last democracy phase, in a sense, and Chavez got to power in 1998 when I was only 10 years old, which means that 2/3 of my life I've always lived under a regime, and we're trying always to find freedom and the meaning of those words. That's why years after I co-founded a political party called Voluntad Popular. It's the party that holds the interim government within the National Assembly and the international recognition. The regime of Maduro started putting more people in prison, especially targeting those that belong to my party. Ever since a group of us were able to escape the country, as many of our colleagues were in prison, tortured, or some of them even murdered. And there's when I had to leave from Caracas to Miami in 2014. I moved to New York in 2017.
¿Ya se graduó?
Sí.
Congratulations.
And by being in the US, I always felt that, as many other migrant or refugee or displaced person, you have to put your dreams on your luggage. And one of those figurative dreams of mine in my luggage was always to get back to school, to get my master, to be able to grow professionally, and to be able to rebuild my country, to be able to apply everything I would learn towards the reconstruction of Venezuela. And we always think that refugees is only coming from a war, and then they forget that we have more and more displaced people because of climate change. We have more and more people leaving countries and cities, given political persecution, given an oppression of a system, given racial conditions that don't allow them to belong, given many even sexual identities that people have to leave their home countries. One thing is that you never decided to leave, like you had to leave. And not having that closure is a grievance, an open wound that we all carry with ourselves. To be able to study at Columbia was definitely that carries into your soul and your dreams that no matter how hard you have to go through things, sooner or later there will come that light that will help you to get to that next stage. How would I know that 8 years later I would be graduating from my dream school and at the same time not having my family here with me to celebrate it? Actually, my graduation date, the commencement 18, would be my 8th anniversary, the last time I saw my family, and I was in Venezuela. Unless we are more than 5 people, then it's like better individually.
Yeah.
And I reach some other people around. Another characteristic of this scholarship is definitely the different nationalities and different schools, different backgrounds, different cultures that we see, the work that we have experienced, the causes that put us in this situation, but at the same time that common approach of understanding each other, of having this journey. Every time that we were able to hang, like seeing at least someone that could understand you was definitely one biggest plus of this scholarship. Like you build brotherhood and sisterhood around different countries with the commonality that we all were refugees. We all are here fighting and remembering our people and the ones that are after us.
Cities, areas. So how to use technology in better management for those cities like New York or Istanbul. So we did study on 4 cities: Bucharest, Istanbul, Aleppo. And we analyzed it. We took New York as living lab.
Having that backup of Columbia Global Center and the scholarship was a blessing for us to go through this journey. For those back in refugee camps or the countries of origin, still oppressed and repressed, let's remember that there is hope, that no matter how dark the situations we go, and even what we have to face that seem hopeless, at the end of the tunnel there is always a light. And betting into education and preparing ourselves to be capable not only to bring justice or to bring reconstruction of our society, there is a role for us to understand that we can partake and do things differently. And for that, education will be always key.